More on this. Our next guest today says today's reaction is overdone, that Viking's data is comparable or maybe even a bit better than Novo Nordisk's and Eli Lilly's. He's sticking with a buy rating and a $125 price target. Joining me now is Justin Zelin. He's the biotech analyst at BTIG. All right, Justin, make your case. Why shouldn't investors abandon this stock, as apparently so many of them are today?
Thanks for having me on, David. Appreciate it. Yeah, I have to say, I think that the market reaction here is overdone. We like Viking's data. We think that investors are underappreciating that in the trial, the dose escalation schema was a bit accelerated, and the company moving forward will actually be going to a less aggressive dosing schema that led to some of the tolerability issues that we saw here. And even so, we think that the data look pretty good. In our opinion, we think that in some of the middle dose levels that we saw pretty good data compared to both Novo and Lilly's products in development here. In our opinion, we think that if you compare against the two, they seem to be competitive in the class leading and amongst the oral obesity class here.
Yeah, but what to Angelica's point that these guys are going to be behind, even if they do get to market, behind the leaders who will both have oral formulations on the market. What is your thinking in terms of Viking's ability, if you are correct, to make up, and or gain market share when it's going to be late to the game?
Yeah, look, there's a couple of things here. We think that they do have a very promising tolerability profile, and then look, what really was compelling in the data that they presented today was the maintenance dose that they presented. They showed that patients on the 90 milligram that dosed down to the 30 milligram, they continued to lose weight at 13 weeks, which was very compelling, and that presents a very compelling commercial argument and a cost of goods scalability, which allows them to reduce cost of goods and allows them to scale for manufacturing. The other component that I would point to here with their data is that the tolerability issues, it was mostly front-ended, and it was mild to moderate. 99% of the patients had pretty low-grade GI events, and really resolved by the third week.
But then why did 28% of them drop out of the trial in the first 3 months?
Well, that's really to be expected. I mean, we've seen that across the class. Patients with higher grades of GI events do drop out of trials. It's not unexpected with this class, but that being said, we don't know that the company is necessarily going to take forward that high dose of 120 mg, right? They haven't picked their go-forward dose yet in phase 3 trials. We'll have to see what the company decides to do. We haven't yet seen their go-forward phase 3 dose schema yet.
Okay. Justin, we're going to leave it there. Appreciate it. Thank you.